I'm wondering if you can comment on how you see the culture around sexual violence.
Okay. I'd say as a woman, most of the time we're treated or we experience sexual violence as objects, which is of course not to say that men can also be the target of sexual violence or not, like gender non-conforming people can't experience sexual violence. But because it's just sort of like a part of how we experience our day-to-day lives, whether it's being like harassed in the street or just like the culture in our workplaces or in our schools, it's just something that we're sort of raised to like deal with, like, and it's something that's seen as just the way that it is. I think that recently, because it's becoming more of a topic that people are talking about on the news or people are willing to come forward with, whether it's about rape or about street harassment, I feel like we're really entering a stage where people are either very, where people are really coming forward and like telling their stories and speaking out against violence, whether in the form of harassment or physical violence or rape. But then we also have the people who are very resistant to change and who, for whatever reason, they don't want to see these norms challenged. So whether it's telling women that, you know, being harassed, sexually harassed in the street is not violence, it's not harassment, it's about being appreciated for being beautiful or being attractive or whatever. And that's something that we should want, despite the fact that we see that women are getting tired of being treated first and foremost as sexual objects, as physical objects. You know, politicians, CEOs, whoever, being asked first and foremost what clothes they're wearing or being challenged on their weight or their appearance. Like, women are tired of that. Women want to be appreciated for their personalities, for their achievements. Or, you know, straight up rape culture, where we see women who are being accused of lying and there's this, or being deceitful about what's happened to them. And there seems to be this whole idea that women are naturally deceitful and we are in the habit of turning around and saying that we were raped and that it was non-consensual for whatever reason, because we're afraid of the implications of admitting that we're sexual beings or that we consented to sex, which I think the stats speak for themselves, that women do not lie, or women and men do not lie about being raped any more than any other crime. So I think it's an idea to explore this whole idea that culture has about women as being, as, you know, either being the whore or the Madonna, and as having to lie as a way to deal with that binary.
All right. And how do you see this changing? Like, what do you think needs to happen for this culture to shift?
Well, I think that already I've seen so many of my peers, both men and women, who are willing to speak out against their experiences with sexual violences as being victims, as well as speaking out against their peers who perpetuate sexual violence. And I think that it takes a lot of courage to be willing to like share your personal stories, or to like speak out against your friends when they make inappropriate comments or when they behave in a way that's inappropriate. Because there's a lot of fear of being ostracized, of being challenged, of being rejected. So I think that people need to keep doing that. On a larger level, I think that sexual violence needs to be taken more seriously by policymakers. Like, it needs to be something that is taking a center stage. But yeah, just keep speaking out. Keep, you know, telling your friends that you don't want to hear about their ideas of how women should behave or how men should behave in relationships or in sex. Just keep talking, because people are going to laugh at you to begin with, and that's how it always is. But the more you keep talking, the more people are going to be willing to speak up, and big things will happen.
Awesome. Thank you so much.